So now it is that your girl's recording. Let's go ahead. Let's jump into this next damn reaction. As it is that we were talking about the levels of pedophiles, the predators of Philly's video. Here we are now, the predator invasion of 2024. We have had a quite interesting year of the amount of people it is that has been exposed for talking to a minor or doing inappropriate things they had no business doing. So Tommy and Energy, shout outs to you. Without further ado,
Man,
y'all,
oh man.
let's get into this next video, y'all. Let's do it.
2024 has been such a turbulent year, hasn't it? Bridges collapsing all over the place.
May I add, it is that was in my state.
Rap beef spanning generations finally taking place. Presidents almost getting shot. Oh, and a lot of predators. Like... a lot. Kendrick dropped Not Like Us, and just like a domino effect, all types of people started getting exposed left and right. I feel like we could start a whole betting website now on who's getting exposed next. So I want to go through a little timeline of the year, starting off with the kingpin of weirdos. Now, instead of calling him his name because YouTube doesn't like me saying it, we'll just refer to him as Pinto Bean. Now, Pinto Bean's crimes date way back.
But then again, with YouTube, it's crazy. It is that we can't sit there and say the names of the people it is that are doing heinous crimes. It's the same. It's the same thing with the other woman YouTuber that had completely doxed somebody's house information and stuff like that, just for no apparent reason whatsoever. Apparently, you can't say her name neither. So it's crazy thing
for this year, but only now this year are being highlighted because the criminal case ongoing, which still confuses me because how the f is this case still ongoing? Like, they've got the list, the flight logs, everybody who was around this man. There's no reason this case should still be ongoing. Like, is there anyone who still believes he didn't do it? But luckily in January 2024 we were seeing some hope as over 1,000 pages of court records came out and we actually heard official names being exposed. People like Bill Clinton and Prince Andrew getting exposed for being on the island. Wow. Shocker. Who would have ever thought this was possible? It's not like there was hundreds of pics of them together. The most surprising to me though was Stephen Hawking on the island. Like, I don't think anybody imagined that. I don't even want to imagine what type of freak he was into. Rumors on the street was he was into midgets and stuff. True or not, I really don't know. But
hey, listen, that man cheated on his wife, and I don't think it is he can talk. He has to type to talk. That is insane to me. That boy, this shit is nuts, bro. Like, you don't even have to sit there. You could type and still cheat at the same time, and still be on that freaky shit. Crazy.
But I wouldn't put him past him. Being in his state for that long probably put some numbers on him. And when the info first started coming out, everyone was hyped to see when the next drop was. Who was getting exposed and which freak celebrity was gonna get taken down this time. They were hyping it all up saying, just you wait, in a month we're gonna drop these files and y'all gonna be shocked. Then a month passed by. We ran into some errors. Next month though, it's definitely coming out. Then another month passed by. So what happened is we got some of the files mixed up. It's definitely coming out next month, and the files never came out and everyone completely forgot. I can't be the only one thinking it's insane how everyone completely forgot about this and the list never came out. All I know is someone's getting paid off and someone's getting paid off good. Some people think a list already came out, and one did apparently with the flight logs and some names, but an official one hasn't come out linking certain celebrities with certain crimes. Someone who can't pay people off to keep them silent though is
Riot LOL. We've actually, on my second channel, we had reacted to a video that talked about with him. If y'all remember that in the chat or not, that we did that. Y'all can check that out on the second channel. That's probably one of the popular videos that I did on the Mermaid Live channel. This man really, I mean, like, he tried to even do a comeback. He tried to be like, oh, in construction, comeback coming soon. This and this. No, it's not coming back, gang. You're cooked. You're cooked. You're absolutely cooked. Your whole entire streaming career is cooked. And again, I don't disparage my friends and my counterparts is that be on Kick. They, at least I can say it is, they don't be on the fugaziness. But most of the people it is I've seen, besides like, you know, Josh, you know, Simba, Mikey, Aaron, that be streaming on Kick, and a couple others as well that I have not mentioned. It is that they be on some chill shit. But if y'all don't know about Riot LOL, then y'all need to go ahead and watch that video of exposing him to the stuff it is that he would do with underage women at that, and on camera, and then putting pictures of body parts of these said women in discords and stuff like that. Yeah, like there's a whole case that is about him.
Now, if you were on the internet in February 2024, I don't know why I'm saying that, acting like, you know, you just found out about the internet recently. You probably heard about this story from this streamer on Kick. Now, what's Kick, you may ask, my innocent child? A wonderful, family-friendly, positive platform where you can watch streamers teach amazing lessons about life, like stranger danger and how to not get kidnapped, teaching you how to be polite around strangers, and a loving platform that welcomes the family. Hey, Kick it.
Hey, listen, I just seen dude just go ahead and touch somebody else's food, and I got triggered, bro. And this is another thing it is that was talked about as to why I don't advocate for violence. YouTube, I'm not advocating for violence, harassment, bullying, cyberbullying in any form of way. But if you know about the story that I told about of me getting into a bar fight, then you know, okay? You know the story. That is on the Mermaid Live channel as well. That goes into detail of what happened, you know? But I got triggered all over again just seeing that. That, for some reason, the fight almost just came out. But, hey, listen. Proceed.
If you're still handing out those $1 million contracts, slide me one for a month. A YouTuber named Something About Chickens released a video talking about a Kick streamer named Riot LOL, exposing him for being a complete predator in the most degenerate way possible. Like, if Pinto Bean was still alive, he'd probably recruit him on his team to use his tactics on minors. First off, this was really fishing on Omegle out of all places. I swear, before, predators would try their best to hide their face and make sure no one in public saw them. I remember on To Catch a Predator, the only time they would see the actual person is when they met in person, and that's when Chris Hansen would swoop in. But nowadays, they don't even give a anymore. Even if he wasn't doing this on a stream, he always had the chance to be recorded randomly by someone on Omegle. But he would go on Omegle and try to rizz up these girls, then when they said their age, he would convince them to say it's higher just so he doesn't look like a weirdo. This is the dumbest ever. Like, everyone on your stream already saw her say she's underage, bro. I genuinely think this was his way of PR training, and he would be good with the public by doing that. But even if these girls weren't underage, he's still a weirdo because he would record them without their consent, then post it in his Discord. And you would have to be his Kick sub to see the videos. He's lucky his ass hasn't gotten arrested. By definition, that is literally distributing and selling CP. And by the look at you, Riot, and the way they treat predators in jail, you would be decimated in the first day. And the crazy thing is, he had a girlfriend through all of his streaming career. And when asked about it, she said she didn't give a fuck about what he was doing. Like, this might be the reincarnation of Pinto Bean and Jelaine Maxwell. Which goes to show you, all it takes is one dumb and his queen at his side. Now, if you don't know Too Mad, you can classify his content as a banned kid stream. I watched a couple of Too Mad videos when he was blown up, but wasn't like a mega fan of him. I just remember hearing people say he was going off the deep end every day and spiraling out of control. I don't know how he let that happen when all he needed to do was make like one video a month and get millions of views. First, he got exposed for being a stalker and basically mentally abusing the girl he was interested in. This man was so obsessed, he had 6 burner phones texting her at one time. I'll never understand how dudes get this obsessed. I got too much things to worry about over texting someone this much just for them to maybe upset me back. Then he started going on an insane Twitter schizo run, tweeting every hour and every controversy he was having. And the predator stuff comes from when he posted a trans girl on his Twitter saying that was his girlfriend, who was murdered by 2 people. I have no clue what went on in this man's mind. Then he said he thought the person was sexy and that's why he posted it. And there's also allegations of him sending inappropriate messages with minors, and his response genuinely might be worse than the guitar because all he said was, "I made it." Like, buddy, your whole career's on the line.
Yep. That was the legitimate response to all of the allegations is, "I made it." And it was like, yep, you gotta go.
And this is your response. Some of these creators need PR teams like they have for celebrities. And it kind of sucks that we can't.
I've been saying this for the longest time. In order to be a streamer or content creator, you need PR people. I've said this since day one. Now, for all intents and purposes, I did film school and I've done media training and I done a long list of work within the media. So yes, I've always talked about this on my streams. I always talk about it is you need a team. You need a solid team of people. You need an assistant, you need, accountants, you need some PR people because they will help you to get through or clean up your act in a lot of different ways. So, hey, I've been just saying this for the longest time.
Can't confirm if it was true or not and if he was a weirdo because, I mean, buddy got packed.
Oh, yeah, Dan
Schneider, known for basically creating everyone's favorite childhood shows, who also got exposed like years ago. I remember hearing first about this weird stuff in like 2018. But in 2024, the Quiet on Set documentary released where the whole public got to hear how sick he was. Honestly, after hearing this whole documentary, I could never see me ever setting my child to a kid's entertainment network. But people let this go on for way too long with this stuff. Like, after the first couple foot things, why did no one step in and say something?
Because when somebody is like that in position and power, it is very hard, especially with money, it is very hard to go with your word versus their word because they have so many different relationships with other people and trying to go toe to toe against them. We've seen it with Josh, with the whole situation of being SA'd from that producer. And there were celebrities writing the judge saying that he shouldn't get jail time. That, the kid was obviously lying and stuff like that. We watched this documentary in my server, actually. And that, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure it's probably the same thing with Diddy, too. Diddy probably has so many different connections with other people, and that's probably why it is that people waited so long to even say anything about the stuff it is that he's done before over the decades. Is because of the amount of power it is that they got put in, or that he's in and that he has with other people. So I'm glad it is that now this is being talked about, this is being exposed, because I knew for a fact with Amanda, I said something's not right. Being a child actress or an actor, you get put in these positions of different things, and of course there's not really much of parental advice, parents really being there and stuff. They advise parents to not be there. If anything, they try to gaslight and manipulate the parents to leave so they can go ahead and do all the just sick stuff behind the scenes and stuff like that. But if you did not watch this documentary, I advise you do.
Way too long with this stuff. Like, after the first couple foot things, why did no one step in and say something? Dan Schneider was so powerful, he had the Nick logo as a foot. They try to say it's not because of him, but who are they tricking? The person I feel most bad for is Ariana Grande. Like, if you look at things they made her do, they didn't even try to hide they was making it sexual. And the way everyone cowered in fear when he was near them is so uneasy to look at. I don't know how you don't feel sick with yourself making people feel like that. Then he tried to release this half-ass apology that nobody believed. Does he really think he can make a recovery from this? Buddy, you're cooked already. You made your money, just pack it up. Go live on a beach somewhere secluded from humanity with your missus.
Oh man,
T. Nichols is a former C-list streamer that got big from posting on TikTok, and his main content was reacting to his viewers sending stuff in creative and funny ways. And I would add more, but like that was literally his only content. He got exposed for grooming one of his Discord mods, and these messages are actually like atrocious to look at. And she stated she was underage, not once, not twice, but 3 times. How do you get caught 3 times? I didn't even know that was possible. And then he was also saying weird stuff like if she was dead, he'd still get into the cheeks. Insane sentence I'm reading out, but it's a real message that somebody sent in this world. And then also saying he would force his way in her coochie. I don't know what type of riz or kinky play this is supposed to be, but you could just tell when a nigga has never talked to a girl. And his response to the allegations was making a slideshow. Okay, this shouldn't be as funny as it is, but I don't know why it's so funny that he made a slideshow to admit he sexted a minor.
Speaking of Diddy,
P. Diddy in
the
the butt,
diddler.
whatever you want to call him. Just like Dan Schneider, everyone knew P. Diddy was a weirdo for the longest. You always saw videos of him hugging up on dudes awkwardly. People really just thought he was zesty at first and 100% closeted, but not any predator. When the FBI raid happened this year, I think that's when the whole public started to find out though. People should have been suspected something when he first started dating his ex-wife. Like he was 37 and she was 19. Any more of an age gap and he might as well have been her fault. She filed a lawsuit against him in November 2023 on everything and it was settled in a day. Totally not suspicious or distrustful. I 100% trust the results of this lawsuit. But that's when we also found out Meek Mill was in it, and instead of denying it, he went on a whole rant on Twitter saying he's better than people and trying to beef with other people. Like, it's okay, Meek, we know the diddler got to. The people who aren't talked about the most though is Usher and Justin Bieber. I feel like we really should. Like, they were actual children when the diddler got to them. You can't do anything about that. Meek was a grown ass, so I can't really feel bad. But then another lawsuit came out of his former producer who said he hosts sex parties with underage girls. And this lawsuit is still ongoing, but after seeing what he's done in the past in 4K, it's the most believable shit ever. No one's not believing he ain't do it.
Drake.
Now, once again, just like the others with Drake, damn near everyone knew what he was up to. Like, I remember I was younger seeing him hang out with Millie Bobby Brown, who was my age, and thinking, what the fuck? I can't emphasize enough how much of a star Drake was seen as before getting destroyed by Kendrick. This man had every single girl in the world in his DMs. He was dating Rihanna, he was dating SZA, and out of all these girls he could pick from, he decides to take the 13-year-old girl from Stranger Things.
That's because it is the other women. It is that, you know, that scene of how foolish it is that he was. They ain't want him. Look, if y'all could ever go back to when Drake was trying to serenade Rihanna on stage and confess his level of love to her and stuff like that, and she just made a face, and the face told me everything it is that I needed to know, that she was just not feeling dude. They had that one little moment, and then he tried to cling onto her. The way how it is that he be trying to do like Jamaican accents or Bayesian accents or West Indian accents at this rate. He tried to wear that shit as a fucking mouthpiece at this point. It's like, gang, let it go. Let it go. The women, exactly, the women of his age and closer knows how corny he is. And that's usually how that goes to when it is that some like men, I will say what men goes younger. Women go younger because of the fact that the dating and stuff like that. Once it is you get older, is a little bit it's not the same way. A man could be older and still could able to pull ages and still have kids and stuff like that. With older women, that's not the same thing. It's still weird though when it is like, you know, when it's a very like over 10 years old of a gap, that's still weird. But let's proceed.
On a date. Like, you could say they didn't go on dates, but what else do you describe it as when she's literally on camera saying they went to dinner together? I think people just swept it under the rug because he was making good music for so long. Then For All the Dogs came out and it was so ass that everyone changed their minds. Drake should have took the punch to the chin and let people forget about Kendrick first dissing him, because now the whole world is dancing to a song calling him a predator. Like, I don't think the retaliation was worth it. Dr. Disrespect was one of the biggest streamers in the gaming space for the longest. I never really watched his stuff, but I remember seeing a lot of memes of him when he was really big, and you could say he had it all. A successful social media career while being older, a beautiful wife and kids. Well, actually, he cheated on his wife, so maybe not that. All while being able to sit down and make money while playing games. Then he wanted to touch a kid. Like, this one was definitely the least predictable out of them all. He was exposed by a former Twitch employee on the mysterious reason on why he got banned in 2020, which was for texting a minor inappropriately in 2017. And I don't know why they kept this silent for so long. I feel like Twitch didn't want to look weird, because having your star streamer that you promoted being outed as a predator is probably a bad look, right? You would think having a family and kids would make you think twice of doing something like that, but some brains is just disgustingly wired, I guess. And out of all message platforms to be caught on, Twitch Whispers? All I get in my Twitch Whispers is people telling me to end. I'm surprised.
This is, again, this situation is just nuts, because I don't even use Whispers, gang. I may have used Whispers back when I was a viewer before I started streaming. So 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. But to use whispers to like talk to people, like try to spit game, is insane to me. And the double down and make it to prefer it to be a minor. Like, what are we doing?
Someone his age even knows how to use Twitch whispers. I would think he would still be on Facebook. Someone who weirdly defended him though, which is next, is... I swear, the only time I hear Sneeko in a headline is either him getting embarrassed by somebody or him saying some absolute dumb. And for the longest, he was known as the guy who dick rode Andrew Tate to his fall off. But he's kind of been making a comeback by arguing the age of consent. Man, I knew Rumble paid bad, but damn, them Rumble checks must not be hitting. I seriously don't know how worse it could get for Sneeko, but I don't think there's any more he could go down. His argument for age of consent is that it should be at the age when a person fully finishes puberty, which can be as early as 14 for girls and as early as 16 for boys. I feel like Sneeko just argues for scenarios he never has to deal with. Like if Sneeko had a daughter who was fully matured by 14 and a dude that's 30 came up asking for his permission to marry her, I just know that would crash out. All this arguing he's doing online is going away in a second. And he even went to debate Critical about this, which was a terrible debate on both their ends. Cody Ko was a big YouTuber known for his commentary through almost a decade on YouTube. He got exposed by Tana Mojo, who allegedly says he slept with her when she was 17. And at this point, it's not alleged because he basically admitted it. I scratched earlier what I said about Dr. Disrespect being unpredictable because this was definitely unpredictable. Cody always seemed like that dude in his own lane that got along with everyone in the digital realm. Everyone loved him and Noel's reactions to because it was just so unique. And the worst part—
that's where he's from. That's where he's from. That's what I was trying to figure out. I'm like, I know I've seen his content before. And then it just dawned on me.
Part about this is he has a whole kid now. Sometimes we got to be more thankful for who raised us, because I couldn't imagine growing up and realizing what daddy did in his past. We're gonna see a lot of future f***ed up household dynamics.
And speaking of cheating on your wife and being, you know, a parent, kid, all that, here we go.
He, she, they, I don't care, the predator. Whatever you want to call bro, Chris Tyson of the Mr. Beast team, formerly a crew member and was always the unfunniest to me, to be honest, was caught sending inappropriate messages to a 13-year-old and was also linked with Shadman, who's a person I did not know before the drama, and I could have gone my whole life without knowing who this person was. Shadman is an internet artist, if you don't know, who has drawn CP multiple times. Not cheese pizza, not cob points, that very much illegal thing, including of Keemstar's daughter. And I guess people in the past didn't care for some reason that he was doing this. Like, this wasn't some low-key shit. Bro was literally known on the internet for drawing lolly and CP. Any YouTuber who's ever linked with this man needs their hard drives researched by the FBI. You can't even say he kept it hidden and the YouTubers didn't know, because that was his whole career online. And of course, none other than Chris Tyson was associated with him and had a picture of one of his drawings on his wall. It's one thing being associated with bro, but having a whole portrait of the art means you went—
mind you, the only thing on the wall is that nuts
out your way by any means to buy the art and hang it like a centerpiece. And after this, Chris got booted from the Mr. Beast team. Good riddance.
Kai Cenat's cameraman,
Kai Cenat, known as the biggest and smallest streamer at the same time in the world right now, has always had his go-to cameraman at his side, which is Chris. And you know what I'm noticing? This is not a good year to be named Chris.
Damn.
Not a good year for Chris's. Anyways, his cameraman was caught messaging a minor, and these messages are rough. Like, I don't know how dudes can sex like this and act like this in messages and go on about their day normally while having all the message history out in the open. Kai then came on his stream to confirm that it was true, talking about how he cut ties with him, and I do feel bad for Kai. Like, no matter what drama I see surrounding Kai, even if it isn't him directly, people pull up the pitchforks and start witch hunting him like he did the crime himself. And I've seen some people—
and this is why I always say that it's weird that people try to throw the smoke towards Kai when it's not Kai's fault. So that's why I always think that it's just weird. I said this yesterday, that I find that it weird that people will be like, oh, there's something about Kai it is that I don't like. It's just, no, you're a fucking hater. Call a spade, you're a hater.
People arguing saying the age of consent is 17 in New York, but clearly they both thought it was wrong, because he was shocked when he heard her actual age and kept going. And even thinking of it, do y'all know who he works for? Kai Cenat. This man has thousands of grown bad on standby in his DMs, and he goes for the one girl still in high school. So yeah, that's about the collection of weirdos we've got so far. I'm sure we're not done, so go ahead and put your bets in the comments and come back in the future to see if you were right. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, I love you guys consensually, and until next time, I'm out.
Hey, you know, this is a very unfortunate year. We have come across a lot of different people being exposed for some very heinous things, man. But Tommy, NFG, shout outs to you. Thank you so much for the video. Shout outs to y'all in the chat. Shout outs to you at home. I'll catch y'all in the next video.
Oh, chosen trickster.